What if everything you've been told about ancient warriors was wrong? What if the toughest fighters in human history, the Roman gladiators, weren't devouring steaks and giant turkey legs? What if the men who fought lions, survived sword fights, and entertained entire empires were actually mostly vegetarians? And what if their secret recovery supplement wasn't protein powder, but a drink made from wood ash? Today, we're diving into the shocking truth behind the Gladiator Diet, the science of how these warriors built strength without modern supplements, and whether their ancient nutrition strategy can still work today. The myth of the meat-eating warrior. For decades, Hollywood has sold us a picture of gladiators as meat-hungry warriors. Think about movies like Gladiator. Massive men, huge muscles, constant combat. Naturally, most people assume they were eating enormous amounts of meat. But archaeological discoveries tell a very different story. Researchers studying gladiator remains in Ephesus, an ancient Roman city in modern-day Turkey, found evidence suggesting these fighters primarily ate grains and legumes. In fact, gladiators were nicknamed horderai, which translates to the Barley Men. Not the beef men, not the steak warriors, the Barley Men. Their diet was heavily based on barley, beans, lentils, chickpeas, other legumes and grains. To modern fitness enthusiasts, this sounds almost impossible. How could warriors build strength eating what sounds like a giant bowl of carbs? The answer lies in understanding what gladiators were actually training for. Gladiators weren't bodybuilders. Today's athletes often chase low body fat percentages. Gladiators did the opposite. Their goal wasn't looking shredded. Their goal was surviving. Historical evidence suggests gladiators intentionally maintained a layer of subcutaneous fat. That extra padding acted like natural armor. A slash across the body might look dramatic for the crowd, but be less likely to damage vital structures. Think of it this way. A gladiator wasn't preparing for a beach vacation. He was preparing to get hit with a sword. Different objective, different physique, and that changes how you eat. A high-calorie diet rich in grains and legumes allowed gladiators to recover from brutal training, maintain body weight, build strength, store energy, develop protective body mass. In many ways, their diet resembles the eating habits of some modern strength athletes more than today's fitness influencers. Now here's where things get really strange. Ancient writings suggest gladiators consumed a recovery drink made from plant ash. Yes, ash, as in the leftover material from burned wood and plants. Before you start drinking fireplace residue, let's talk about what was actually happening. Plant ash contains minerals, particularly calcium and magnesium. Researchers believe this drink may have helped replenish minerals lost through intense training and combat preparation. Essentially, gladiators may have been consuming an ancient version of a mineral supplement, thousands of years before sports drinks existed. Pretty clever, but obviously, we aren't going to drink wood ash today. Instead, we can use safer modern alternatives that provide similar minerals. Examples include mineral water rich in calcium and magnesium, electrolyte supplements, calcium-fortified beverages. The goal isn't copying the exact recipe. The goal is understanding the nutritional principle behind it. Could this diet work today? Let's put the Gladiator Diet through a modern fitness lens. The biggest criticism you'll hear is, what about protein? And it's a fair question. Protein matters, a lot. But legumes aren't protein-free. Consider foods like lentils, chickpeas, black beans, split peas. These foods provide both carbohydrates and protein. Combined with grains, they create a surprisingly robust nutritional foundation. Would a competitive bodybuilder preparing for a show eat exactly like a gladiator? Probably not. But could someone build strength, recover well, and perform athletically on a grain and legume-based diet? Absolutely. In fact, many successful athletes throughout history have relied heavily on carbohydrate-rich staple foods. The modern obsession with ultra-high protein intake sometimes causes us to forget that performance requires fuel, and carbohydrates are fuel. What modern fitness can learn from gladiators? The biggest lesson from the Gladiator Diet isn't that everyone should stop eating meat. That's not the point. The lesson is that strength has never come from one magical food, not protein powder, not supplements, not secret hacks. The strongest warriors in the ancient world built their physiques with simple foods: barley, beans, legumes, mineral-rich drinks, nothing fancy, just consistent nutrition that supported their specific goals. And maybe that's the real secret. Instead of asking what's the perfect superfood, we should ask, what foods best support the demands of my training? Because the answer might be far simpler than most fitness marketing wants you to believe. Quick break. One thing I want to mention, because it's relevant to everything we're talking about today, is that all of this historical knowledge about food and strength is fascinating. But at some point, you need a plan that actually applies to your life and your body right now. That's exactly what we do at LIOI Systems. The LIOI method at LIOI.com is built around real, sustainable programming that works for real people, not Instagram influencers, not elite athletes with 6-hour training days. If you want correct coaching that actually keeps you moving and feeling better and fits your schedule, check the description below and head to LIOI.com. I'll leave the link down there for you. So what do you think? Could you survive a week eating like a Roman gladiator? Have you ever tried a high-carb, legume-based diet for training? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring the forgotten foods that built strength throughout history, make sure to subscribe. In the next episode, we'll uncover another ancient nutrition secret that helped warriors, laborers, and athletes build incredible strength long before modern supplements existed. Until then, train hard, eat smart, and remember, history may be the most underrated fitness coach of all time.